Maura Murray, a bright, ambitious 21-year-old nursing student with a promising future. But on a freezing February night in 2004, she vanished without a trace. Her car was found abandoned on a quiet stretch of highway in New Hampshire. The engine was still warm, her belongings scattered. Yet there were no footprints in the snow, no signs of a struggle, just an empty vehicle and a mystery that has haunted investigators for 2 decades. Welcome back to Dark Secrets of True Crime. Tonight we unravel the baffling case of Maura Murray, a disappearance so chilling it defies explanation. Let's begin. To understand Maura's disappearance, we must first know who she was. Maura Murray was a 21-year-old nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. By all accounts, she was intelligent, driven, and well-liked by those around her. She had dreams of becoming a nurse, and her life seemed to be heading in the right direction. But beneath the surface, there were cracks. Just days before her disappearance, Maura's life took a series of unexpected turns. She had been caught using a stolen credit card to buy food, and she was reportedly struggling with personal issues, including a strained relationship with her boyfriend, Bill Rausch. Was Maura running from her problems, or was something far more sinister at play? The day of Maura's disappearance began like any other. That morning, she emailed her professors telling them she would be taking a week off due to a family emergency. This was a lie. There was no such emergency. She then packed her belongings into boxes, some of which included personal items like toiletries and school books, and left her dorm room as if she didn't plan to return. At 3:30 p.m., Maura withdrew $280 from an ATM. Surveillance footage captured her alone, appearing calm and composed. She then stopped at a liquor store, purchasing a box of Franzia wine and a bottle of Kahlua. By 4:30 p.m., she was driving north on Interstate 91. What was Maura's destination? No one knows. There were no phone calls or messages to suggest she had made plans with anyone. Some theorize she was heading to the White Mountains, a place she had visited before and found solace in. Others believe she was running away from her problems. At approximately 7:25 p.m., Maura's car slid off Route 112 in the small town of Haverhill, New Hampshire. A school bus driver named Butch Atwood passed by and stopped to offer help. Maura declined, claiming she had already called for roadside assistance. But phone records show no such call was made. Atwood drove home and called the police at 7:43 p.m. When officers arrived on the scene less than 10 minutes later, Maura was gone. Her car was locked, the airbags were deployed, and her belongings, some wine bottles, her ATM receipt, and a map, were scattered inside. A rag was found stuffed into the tailpipe, a strange and unexplained detail. The timeline gives us a detailed look at Maura's final known moments. But when we step back and examine the bigger picture, the questions only multiply. How does someone disappear so completely, leaving behind so few clues? To make sense of this mystery, we must explore the many theories that have emerged over the years. Theory 1. Abduction. The most chilling theory is that Maura was abducted. Route 112 is remote, surrounded by dense woods, and sparsely populated. Could someone have taken advantage of her vulnerability? A few residents reported seeing a car parked on the road around the time of Maura's disappearance. Could this vehicle have belonged to her abductor? The lack of footprints in the snow has also led some to believe she didn't walk far, but was instead picked up by someone. But who would do such a thing? Some suspect a random predator, while others speculate it could have been someone Maura knew. Suspicion has even fallen on her boyfriend, Bill Rausch, who exhibited controlling behavior and inconsistencies in his alibi. However, no evidence directly ties him or anyone to foul play. While the idea of abduction is terrifying, another possibility paints a very different picture. What if Maura didn't fall victim to someone else, but instead made a deliberate choice to vanish? Theory 2. Voluntary disappearance. Another theory is that Maura deliberately vanished. Her actions before February 9th suggest she was planning an escape. The packed boxes in her dorm room, the cash withdrawal, and the liquor purchase all point to someone preparing for a journey. But if she wanted to disappear, why leave her car and belongings behind? And why hasn't she resurfaced after nearly 2 decades? This theory raises more questions than answers, leaving investigators and her family skeptical. Not every disappearance is planned. In some cases, tragic accidents occur. Could Maura have fallen victim to the harsh conditions of the White Mountains? Theory 3. Accidental death. Could Maura have succumbed to the harsh winter conditions? Temperatures that night were well below freezing, and the surrounding wilderness is treacherous. It's possible she wandered into the woods disoriented and scared, and succumbed to hypothermia. Despite multiple search efforts, no trace of Maura, no clothing, no bones has ever been found. For someone to vanish so completely, even in a remote area, is highly unusual. One of the most puzzling aspects of the case is a small yet bizarre clue: the rag stuffed into the tailpipe of Maura's car. Theory 4. The rag in the tailpipe. The rag found in Maura's tailpipe is one of the most bizarre elements of the case. Her father, Fred Murray, later claimed he had advised her to use it to prevent smoke from escaping the exhaust if the car was having issues. But some believe the rag could indicate foul play, perhaps someone tampered with her car to disable it. Could Maura have been lured into a trap? Was the rag a signal for someone to find her? This cryptic clue remains one of the biggest mysteries in the case. Finally, there is one theory that casts doubt, not only on the details of the case, but also on the people tasked with solving it. Theory 5. A cover-up. Finally, some theorists believe there was a cover-up. Unstated inconsistencies in police reports and a lack of transparency have led to speculation that law enforcement may be hiding something. Could Maura's disappearance be tied to someone with power or influence? While there's no concrete evidence to support this theory, it has fueled countless debates and conspiracy theories online. In the years following her disappearance, Maura's case has attracted worldwide attention. Documentaries, podcasts, and Reddit threads have dissected every detail, but none have provided definitive answers. For her father, Fred Murray, the search has been relentless. He has criticized law enforcement for their handling of the case and continues to advocate for more resources to find his daughter. But after 20 years, hope is fading. Despite decades of speculation and investigation, the case remains unsolved. And yet it leaves us with questions that haunt us to this day. The disappearance of Maura Murray leaves us with more questions than answers. What was she running from, or toward? Who, if anyone, was she meeting that night? And most disturbingly, how can someone vanish so completely in an era of constant surveillance? Maura Murray's case is a chilling reminder of how fragile our sense of safety can be. In a world dominated by technology and interconnectedness, her disappearance feels like an anomaly, something out of a ghost story. As we search for answers, one thing is clear. Maura Murray's story isn't just about a missing person. It's about the shadows that linger in the corners of our lives, the mysteries that refuse to be solved, and the haunting question: could this happen to anyone? What do you think happened to Maura Murray? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more gripping true crime stories. Because in this world, the truth is often stranger than fiction.